A young Italian exchange student is studying here in high school in the United States.
She is, and boy, she got quite the education here in America.
And this is Chick to Chick. So I still have a kid that is in high school, and I hear all kinds of things about what is going on in high school. And, you know, you and I both experienced kids being abroad and the differences that are going on culturally. But it's always been curious to me what other people think about what is going on here in our classrooms. And gee, what's funny about those things that we think as we go, that could be a podcast. And then all of a sudden we learn of a girl who is actually doing just that. She is here from Italy, and she's studying here.
She's come here as an exchange student. You know, you had talked about going abroad and studying abroad.
Yeah.
Your daughters both studied abroad. My son studied abroad. And you hear about that, kids going away and studying abroad for college. But this is different. Again, this young lady is here from Italy, and she is here in high school. She wanted to come here to learn all about our way of life, but we're going to let her tell us all about it.
That's the fun part.
Yeah.
We get to hear what her take is on it.
That brings us to our guest today. Marta Passetti is joining our podcast. Hi, Marta.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It was really a nice opportunity that you gave me.
Well, we're thrilled that you're here with us. So, okay, we're going to go through the whole thing. How old are you, first of all?
Well, I'm 17, turning 18,
Okay.
and yeah.
And what grade are you in?
I'm a senior currently here, but when I'm going to go back home, I'm going to become a senior, technically, because we have 5 years of high school.
Oh, you have 5 years of high school in Italy. Okay, and we only have 4 years. Okay, so you're here as your senior year. Again, you came here. Are you living with a host family?
Oh, yeah, currently, yeah, because as a minor, the best choice was to live with host parents as I can assimilate better the customs of the U.S.
Okay.
What made you even choose coming to the U.S.?
Well, I decided to come here, first of all, because I was a little bored of my life back home, and I wanted something that was challenging myself. And I've always wanted to study abroad since I was in middle school, so 6 years ago now. And I was really lucky to have this really good teacher that gave me this opportunity, and she helped me through the whole application progress. And I'm really, really glad that I got to be one of the exchange students here in the U.S.
So she said she was bored back home in Italy. I would kill to be bored in Italy.
I was thinking the same. I was like, but isn't that interesting? The difference of where you are, wherever home is, can be boring. Now, let me ask you this. Are you finding it boring here? Because sometimes we think it's boring. What has been your take so far being a student here in an American classroom?
Well, it's just really different. It's not bad. It's really, really different. Here, I'm considered a kid in really all the senses. Well, back home at 17, you're pretty much an adult. So you have way more responsibilities, but even the way that people see you, it's different. Also, school is really, really different for me. First of all, in my Italian school, it's not the teacher that stays in the room and the kids that goes to a classroom from another, but it's more like the kids staying in one classroom and the teachers moving. So you end up having the same classmates throughout the 5 year of high school, pretty much all day long.
What happens in Italy when the teacher comes into the classroom? What are you all expected to do?
Well, first of all, we have to get up from our chairs and say good morning to the teacher as a form of respect, showing like their status, the social way of being. Because first of all, they're adults and we have to respect them. It's right that we're considered almost like adults, but they're still older than us. So we have to bring respect to them. And then we pretty much start our lesson. We just say good morning, and then everything goes by normally. One main difference is really the amount of respect that we give to our teachers. I'm seeing most of my classmates here that are not really, really respectful to them. First of all, they use their cell phone during the lesson. Maybe the teacher is giving a lecture, quite important. and they're just like scrolling through their phone or watching a Netflix series, which the first time that I saw, I was quite surprised to see because it's not really okay for a teacher not having a response to that, first of all. But also the relationship that you have with your teacher. This, I would say that it's positive because you can have a relationship with them almost like as if you were friends with them. You can tell them what you did on Saturday, or you can just like tell them your plans for the future, especially if you're a senior, they're going to ask you what you want to do for college. But you can also have a good bond with them. And I think that's nicer.
And you don't necessarily have that closeness with your Italian teachers?
No, you don't really have, you don't get really that close because they're just like a figure of a teacher. They're not your peers because the education is more like of a work for your parents. So it's really separated the way that the teacher is a teacher for like the lectures and your parents are teachers for your manners.
You know, you mentioned that you are more of an adult when you're in Italy, but here, even though you're 17 and you're a senior, it's more like you're a kid. What does that feel like then here? Does it feel like you kind of went back in time because you are used to being treated differently? What's that experience like?
Well, okay, I don't really like it because my host parents treat me like a almost an adult because they understand that I have responsibilities. I'm a responsible person, and also they hosted a lot of kids before me, so they kind of know how those exchange students are. But it's like going back to my middle school life, and that's, I don't know, it's like a throwback in the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad, but it could be better.
So what are you expected to do in Italy that you say that you're pretty much an adult? What responsibilities do you have there that you see American kids don't have that are the same age as you?
Well, first of all, you're more responsible for your actions. So, in general, whatever you do, you're expected to know the consequences and take responsibility for that. But also, you have a better engagement in your family life. For example, if your parents have to discuss an adult matter, you're involved into that because, I mean, you're part of the family as an adult of the family. You have more of like a say in all of their decisions.
And how does that kind of make you feel when you see that American kids or American students are treated, you know, more like kids, or the fact that they may not exhibit enough of that respect and that maturity? What do you think about that?
Well, it kind of makes me feel sad for them because for what I'm seeing right now, is that they're expected to gain all of those responsibilities when they get to college. So, like, for 17 years of their life, they're not expected to have one single responsibility. If not, they're doing their schoolwork. And then, boom, you get to college and you have life responsibilities coming back to you. And you don't really know what to do. That's just my impression because you've never had an idea on how to manage them. So I kind of feel bad for them not to having a try.
Well, and I understand exactly what
too.
she's talking about because I was raised by Italian immigrant parents. And as a very young child, I was expected to clean the house and do the laundry and help my mom cook dinner and do outside work. And so I was in a better situation to be prepared for life. And then I get to college and I'm with young ladies who didn't know how to boil water to cook pasta. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't know how to boil water to cook pasta? So I understand exactly what she's talking about. And it's not necessarily a good thing that you don't know how to boil water to make pasta.
And to that note, I wonder too, because my parents did raise me more like yours did. I was very active. Do you think that it's just the times that we're in right now where, you know, culturally you are in a space where there's just a lot more maturity and kids are expected to be more of a grown-up? And here in the United States, we're a little lazy? Could it be something that's, you know, that like that?
Well, in my opinion, COVID did a lot, like everywhere. But I think it could be a matter of like time because I see people that are way older, like my host parents or like other parents of my friends, and they say that they're not raised that way. But then I'm wondering, why do you raise your kid that way?
Boom.
Like, it's
smart.
It's not really making sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. What else have you noticed the big difference between the American education system and the Italian education system?
Well, the way that the classes are made, there are different levels. Like there's the base one, then the AP one, and the college one. Or like just the way that you can build your own schedule with the classes that you like, or like what you have more interest in. In Italy, it's kind of different. You kind of apply for a school that has a pre-made schedule. There's like the more scientific school, the more literature-oriented school, the more VOTEC kind of school. It can be compared to your VOTEC here. So there's like the main difference in school in Italy is that one prepares you to go to college and the other one prepares you to go to work. Here, pretty much, if you do one high school, even if it's not VOTEC, you can still get a job without going to college. So I think it's kind of good, because if you don't have clear ideas when you're young, you can still decide not to go to college or yes. So, yeah. But also the college, the attention for like college preparation and all the workplace, I feel like here it's way more intense preparing you after graduation than back home.
I would agree with that, because I have one in high school and two that have already gone and graduated from college. Any takeaways that you want to give to, the students here? I don't know how many will listen to the podcast, but the parents will, on maybe some things that they could learn from someone from the outside looking in on an American student.
Well, I really hope, first of all, that they get to be a little bit more nicer to people, because a lot of girls in school are really mean, like in the movie Mean Girls.
Oh.
And I really mean it. And also, I really hope that they find a way, first of all, to be more respectful to the adult figures, but also to mature and grow, because I feel like people my age here are like people in middle school in my country. They didn't get to mature mentally, which it's kind of sad and bad for them, because they would live a better life, in my opinion, if they would be more mature, because they still get attached to things that don't really matter.
Are you glad you came? Are you glad you did this?
Yeah, totally. It's an experience that I always say is not for everybody, but I recommend it to literally everybody that has the opportunity and it feels like doing it, because it helped me a lot. First of all, to improve my English level, which was one of the main goals, but also it helped me a lot having a personal growth and understanding things that I did not before. Or, for example, I was really underestimating the place where I lived, and now I really love it.
Okay. Very quickly now, can you teach Carrie something in Italian? Because I'm fluent, I'm bilingual. Can you teach Carrie something very quickly before we wrap this up?
Yeah, well, we could say, ciao a tutti e buona giornata. It's like, hi, everybody, have a nice day.
Can you say that?
Say that one more time for me.
Ciao a tutti e una buona giornata.
Oh my gosh.
Ciao a tutti.
Ciao a tutti.
E una bella giornata.
Uh-huh.
I got it, Marta.
She's going to have to work on me. It's a beautiful language. And you know what? You are such a beautiful soul.
Yes.
I really appreciate you coming on the podcast. We do. And really shedding some light. I'm glad you came to our country. And there's going to be time soon I'm going to be visiting yours. And boy, are you like good people that I know will be there.
Yeah, absolutely. Ciao, Bella. Ciao.
I can do that one. Ciao, Bella.
Ciao, Bella.
Ciao, Bella.
Thank you so much, Marta. Isn't that interesting? The one thing that we kept hearing over and over from her, respect.
Yes.
Respect.
You and I are both noticing that is lacking, and she is seeing it from a 17-year-old
Kids, you gotta respect the adults in the classroom, in your life, everywhere. We gotta get back to this all-important word. Respect. Absolutely. We appreciate you being with us today. And do us a favor, head over to our Chick to Chick YouTube page, like and subscribe until we're back to chirp about another topic.